Hi, everybody. Welcome to another show of the Honeymoon Traders. It's May 4th, and we are going to do the money show for the SPY. And we're looking at the SPY for today. Just to say that this is not financial advice, and I am not a professional trader, and I recommend no trades to anyone. So, who made the money today? Well, today was quite an interesting day, and it was. It was a trending day. As you can see from this trend line from the overnight to the closing of today, uh, I made this trend line from the morning or the day before uh, at the low of 277.63, and at 6 a.m., around 6 a.m., it had another, well, it had another low period of at 6 a.m. It had another low period at 278, 278.68. And so this is the trend line that I drew this from this 277 to 278. And well, and I put it all the way to the end of the day. And as you can see, if you would have followed that trend line, you would have been in the money all day. And I also made this top of the trend line where it hit two highs of the overnight sessions, and you connected those and you threw that to the end of the day. And well, look at where we ended up at the end of the day. It was at the top of that level. So if you would have followed these trend lines from the morning session, the overnight and morning session, you would have been in the money. So let's look at it a little bit closer. Come on. All right. So looking at it a little closer from the 9. So right off the bat at 9:30, we started selling off. But however, it got to that trend line point, and the the sellers the sellers got away and the buyers started buying. And so it consolidated here for a little bit, and then by 9:45, that was it. Goodbye. And it started trending up higher and higher and higher for a good 9:45 to 10:15. 15 minutes of nothing but solid buying. And look at this trend line. That's a beautiful thing. So if you would have gotten in at the 279 level, let's see the 279 level here. 279 call. 279 call. How can I make this look better? Okay. So 279 call at 9:40, 9:45. Any time period, any time in this morning, first 15 minutes was you could have gotten in at 163, 180, somewhere around there. And by 10, I guess 10:18, 10:15 wasn't quite there yet, but by 10:18 you were at that top of that channel. And so you would have gotten in at $1.63 and got out at $3.38 for for a 15-minute trade, half hour trade. That's awesome. I mean, and then you could have been done for the day if you wanted, or you could have just taken a lunch and then came back in the afternoon. And but that was a good one, especially since it bounced off the morning lows or off the morning trend line, and then almost hit to the top of the trend line. I mean, you couldn't get a better trade than that. And then look at this. The ADX line, the trend line was up there in the 40s and 60s, and then the crossover happened here, right here at 950. So definitely telltale signs that you would have had you, you had a good trade going there. And the rest of the day was, well, and then for the most part of the day, it consolidated in the 280 level to the 80 175 level. And really, there was no trades here. I mean, it was chop, chop, choppy, chop all the time. You didn't know whether it was going to keep going up or keep going down. It just wasn't any follow through there. However, at 315, look what happened here. This was a trade, yes. I mean, yeah, this was a trade. I didn't really realize that, but the trend line was up and the crossover happened. The sellers were in, and you could have did this trade too. However, it was a choppity chop, and it wasn't really top at the top of the trend line. But this here, for sure, if you would if you would have followed through with that trend line and got in at the 280 level, I mean, you're at the 280 level, and your stop was anywhere below 280. I mean, if it broke that trend line and came down here at 280, it would have still been okay. And if it came down lower than that, then you were out, you were stopped out. But it didn't do that. By the end of the day, that 280, it didn't show in the DMI. However, it did show it as a trend line. And so it hit the bottom trend line from the morning session, and it didn't look back. It kept on going up. Buyers were in control from 315 all the way to closing. Pretty much, you were in the money. You would have sweated here, and you could have sold here at a profit, which is great. Take your profits when you can. Or if you would have held out and you realized that the crossover happened right about that time, and the trend line, the ADX line, followed through with that crossover, the buyers were in control again here at what 14 at 230 245 time frame. But if you would have gotten in on this call, the 280 call at 115, let's look at that one. 280 call at 115. Here it is. 280 call at 115. You could have gotten in at $1.02, and you would have sweated a little bit, but you were still in the money, $1.50. I mean, there was no reason to sell at this point. It didn't. You were already in the money, and it wasn't going to hit your stop. Your stop would have been under 90 cents or something like that. But if you would have held on to it, by the end of the day, your $1.02 call would have been $3.90. Anywhere in the $3.50 to the $3.90, you were in the money. By the end of the day, you had a good trade there, and that was quite a good follow through with the crossover and little sweat here, like I said, and then the follow through till the end of the day. So those are the trades that made money today. Yeah, it was nice. That was nice. Sorry I didn't get to make any new videos lately, but I started work back up and my day trading has come to a halt, I'm afraid. So, but I do like to see what happened in the day and who made the money, and how it was made. And pretty much that was it. These were two call options that would have made you money today. And your trading plan was to take it, to make sure that you make these trend lines in the morning. And if you would have stuck to them, they would have told you what was going to happen. So, I mean, that's what I like to do. I like to see what happens in the morning session, make my lines, and then see if it follows through for the rest of the day. And that's exactly what it did today. So, well, that's it for now. Happy Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. And looks like the overnight session. I don't know what happened here. I don't know how these spikes happen. I never, you don't hear anybody jumping on those, and taking advantage of those, but they happen every now and then. But looks like the overnight session is higher than the close at 284. So tomorrow looks like it might be an upward trending day, but we shall see. Might go up, might go down. You never know. So, yeah, just like to say good night, everybody, and thank you for watching. Ciao.